Hello, my name is Kelly Cannon, and this is the Salt Lake Tribune Daily Buzz, a video series where we bring you the important story of the day and why it matters to you. So recently, the Great Salt Lake reached its lowest levels in nearly 150 years, and this is going to have a huge environmental impact, both on the local ecosystem and on the people who live here. So there's obviously been a lot of attention given to how do we save the Great Salt Lake. And we will get to some of those potential solutions later in the video. But before we understand the solutions, we have to understand what is causing the Great Salt Lake to shrink. A recent report put out by the Great Salt Lake Strike Team outlined both the natural and human factors that are contributing to the Great Salt Lake shrinking. So like I said, there are some natural factors, such as 15 to 11% of the shrinkage is being caused by evaporation, mostly due to climate change. An additional 15 to 23% of the loss is being caused by variabilities both in rainwater and in water runoff efficiency. Now, what about the other part, the big part, the 67 to 73% of the loss? Those are being caused by human choices in water usage here in Utah. Basically, how are we using the water before it even gets a chance to get to the Great Salt Lake? So by far, the biggest user of water in the state of Utah is agriculture. About 1.3 million acre feet of water per year are used towards agriculture. To put that into perspective, if you combine all the other users, industrial, municipal, residential, and institutional, if you combine all of those other users, all the water they use is only about a third of what agriculture is using. So basically, they're the biggest users of water. So if we want to replenish the Great Salt Lake, we need to start saving water. But how much water are we talking about? Basically, what we're looking at is we need to save, over the next 5 years, we need to save about 1.3 to 1.9 million acre feet of water per year. Now, that's just going to stop the decline or to get it to its normal levels, And then once we're at those normal levels, we will have to continue to save about 500,000 to 1 million acre feet of water per year just to keep it at that level. So how can this insurmountable task be achieved? So the report went on to further outline 4 scenarios that the state can take in order for us to start achieving this goal of saving the Great Salt Lake. So scenario number 1, we spread the amount of reduction needed to save that water over the course of 5 years among agriculture, municipal, industrial, and some extraction companies. However, this will only save enough water to stop the lake from declining at that moment. So the other scenarios also save enough money, but they also will maybe contribute a little bit money back into the lake. So scenario number 2 is we would do it, but over the course of 20 years, we would spread the reduction out between agricultural, municipal, and industrial users. Scenario number 3 is we would put the burden of saving the water both on municipal and industrial users. And then scenario number 4 is we would put the burden primarily on agricultural users. Now, the report went on to further outline about 11 really specific solutions, and they range in efficacy and in cost analysis. So recently, our Tribune data reporter, Andy Larsen, wrote a column that examined these 11 solutions, and he outlined 2 solutions that he thought were the best bang for our buck, if you will. The first is that the state would lease the water rights away from agricultural users and then just let that water go to the Great Salt Lake. And then the second would focus more on water optimization measures, such as improving water conveyance systems and improving on-farm usage. Another potential solution is the state could pay farmers not to grow crops and just let that water continue on to the Great Salt Lake. Now, no matter what solution we're talking about, it's not going to be easy, and it's going to take a lot of time and effort. But what's becoming increasingly clear is that experts are giving solutions, but the onus is starting to fall on both politicians and policymakers to enact some of these solutions so we can potentially save the Great Salt Lake before it's too late. Now, we want to hear from you guys. What do you think needs to be done to save the Great Salt Lake? Do you think more needs to be done to take water away from agricultural users? Are you a person whose livelihood is tied to the agricultural industry and you can't afford to lose that income? Let us know by commenting below, or you can tweet us at SLTrib. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you want these videos as soon as they drop, be sure that you're subscribed. Thank you.